I'm standing on top of a live volcano right now, and I have to admit it's starting to make me feel slightly nervous. Thankfully, I'm here to meet volcanologist Brad Scott, and together we're going to find out what makes White Island tick. What sort of things do you monitor when you come out here to White Island?
We look at the crater lake, the chemistry of that, the springs, the streams, the chemistry of those. We have a seismograph. We also have a barometer for measuring air waves. We do deformation surveys to measure the change in shape of the ground if the volcano is expanding or contracting. We do soil gas surveys, we do airborne gas surveys. You name it, we basically do it here.
How often do you have to come out here to get all that work done?
It's really variable. We can sometimes be out here 2 or 3 times in a week. We might not be out here for 3 or 4 months, depending on the volcano.
What sort of things does all of that monitoring, what kind of picture does that give you guys?
It builds up a picture of the behaviour of the volcano over a long period of time, and then we are able to identify when the volcano changes its status and the risk goes up and it may be more dangerous to be here. Lessons we learn here from White Island we can apply to Ruapehu or Taranaki or Ngārahoe, Tongariro. An example is the volcanic earthquakes. We know that this is an active volcano. It's erupted lava in the last sort of decade, and we can look at the styles of earthquakes that occurred during those lava eruptions. And if we see that same style of earthquake, say at Ngārahoe or Ruapehu, we then can say, okay, well, when we last saw this, this is what happened, so the chances of that happening could be high at this volcano.
So what do we got up here?
This is one of our webcams. We've got 3 of them looking at the island. We've got this one here in the crater, one up on the crater rim, it's looking down on the lake, and we have another one back on the coast at Whakatane that looks at the whole island.
So what's the purpose of them?
It just allows us to see what's going on at the island continuously during the day and in the evenings. And we're just stopping here now to give it a clean so we can actually see out of it. It gets a bit dusty sometimes. Well, New Zealand's really unique being on a plate boundary. We have some of the biggest and most explosive volcanoes in the world we have examples of. We're kind of fortunate they don't erupt very often. It's only every sort of 3,000 or 4,000 years they erupt, whereas things like White Island, Ruapehu, Ngārahoe erupt every decade or so, much more frequently, but they have small, basically non-destructive eruptions. And we're really fortunate. We've only had the one large eruption in 1886 from Tarawera. At the present point in time, the volcano is very, very quiet. It hasn't done anything for several years, but that could change. We could have an earthquake sequence occur tonight, and we'll be on a different page, and the risk could be really, really high. And we may even be saying tomorrow, that tourists shouldn't be visiting the volcano.
I have had an amazing time out here on White Island, and I never thought I'd be standing in the middle of an active volcano. But thanks to people like Brad, we have a greater understanding of how our volcanoes work.